The number one lesson I would share with my child on success is adapt. The ability to adapt will give you the greatest advantage on succeeding. You should be able to go into the heart of the city or the quietness of the country and be able to adapt. You should be able to be in a conference room or in a street corner and be able to adapt. You should be able to live in a mansion or live in a car and be able to adapt. What you want to do once you come to know yourself and define yourself is you should play to your strengths and your personal preference. You will have a preference as you come to know yourself, whether you want to live in a city or whether you want to live in a country. You will have a preference on whether you want to work with your hands or whether you want to work in technology. Play to those strengths, but be willing to adapt to the situation as needed so that you can have the advantage on succeeding. Success requires adaptation. One of the books that changed my life, it's a very simple book. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? The book is about a few mice. They're in this maze and they grow up their whole life. The cheese is in this one part of the maze. And the mice go to this part every day. They go to this one spot where all the cheese is. Then one day they wake up and that cheese has moved to a different part of the maze. Some of the mice, they said, well, we'll just keep showing up to this same exact space and eventually the cheese will come back. It'll have to. The cheese has been there all our lives. After a couple days, other mice decided that, you know what, the cheese isn't going to come back. We're going to have to change and find a different route. We're going to have to adapt. And so they went out. And they went a different way than they normally knew. The book is based on the principle of the mice who adapt and are willing to change based on life circumstance. They will find the cheese again. Because when the cheese is no longer in the same spot in life, it's not coming back. You have to change direction. You have to go to places you've never been. Part of the reason I'm still able to be healthy, alive, vibrant, and excited about life and live in my car, I'm choosing to. I could live in a mansion or I could live in a car. It's my choice to live in a car. It's my preference. But I have the ability to adapt to either one. I can adapt to either one. I have the ability to go into the city or go into the country. I can adapt to either one. I have the ability to go into the conference room or go into the street corner. I'll adapt to either one. The number one thing I share with you, my child, is be willing to adapt. Have the mindset to adapt. Once you know yourself, choose your personal preference and play to your strengths. But don't have a rigid mind that just because something once was, it will always be. Life is constant movement, and you must adapt accordingly. For those who don't adapt, and for those that don't want to grow, they will die slowly, and they will have less levels of success. There are no secrets to success. That's for bullshit people that want to chase fairy tales. There are keys, there are principles of success. And it comes to those who seek them and who want to learn and grow. And I am telling you, my child, the number one thing you need to succeed is the mindset to adapt.